Rich Dad, Poor Dad isn't just a book. It's a true story that changed how millions think about money. You ever wonder why some people, no matter how hard they work, always seem stuck? Living paycheck to paycheck, always waiting for the next raise, terrified of losing their job. And then, there are others. Same country, same economy, same opportunities. But they build wealth, start businesses, and live with a sense of freedom. I grew up with two dads. One was my real dad, highly educated, hardworking, always following the rules. He had degrees, diplomas, and a solid government job. I call him my poor dad. The other was my best friend Mike's father. He didn't finish 8th grade, but he built a business empire. I call him my rich dad. Their beliefs shaped the way I saw money. Poor dad would say, "The love of money is the root of all evil." Rich dad would say, "The lack of money is the root of all evil." Poor dad believed in job security. Rich dad believed in financial freedom. Poor dad worked for money. Rich dad taught me to make money work for me. And that one shift in thinking changed everything. The poor and middle class work hard for money. They get up every day, punch in, work long hours, wait for the weekend, and repeat. Month after month, year after year. But the rich, they don't work for money. They make money work for them. When I was just 9 years old, Rich Dad gave me a job working in one of his small stores. He didn't pay me much. In fact, he started by paying me nothing. I was frustrated, but he was teaching me something. Most people sell their time, but time is limited, so their income is limited too. The wealthy, they build systems. They buy or create assets, things that earn money even when they're not working. Poor dad said, "Go to school so you can get a good job." Rich dad said, "Go to school to learn, but never rely on a job alone. You can earn $200,000 a year and still be broke if you don't know how to manage money." Rich dad drilled this into me. It's not how much money you make, it's how much you keep. And even more importantly, how hard your money works for you. Most people think that if they earn more, they'll automatically become rich. But without financial literacy, without knowing how to budget, invest, and build assets, higher income just means higher expenses. That's why so many people get a raise and stay broke. Financial education is the foundation of wealth. It's not taught in school, but it should be taught at home, in communities, and especially in your mind. Rich Dad said, "An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out." Simple? Yes, but 90% of people confuse liabilities for assets. Your house? Most people think it's an asset. But if you're paying mortgage, maintenance, property tax, and it's not generating income, it's a liability. Assets include rental properties, dividend-paying stocks, businesses that don't require your daily presence, royalties, digital products, anything that earns while you sleep. Liabilities include expensive cars, credit card debt, your home, unless it generates rent, and fancy gadgets. Want to become wealthy? Buy assets, reduce liabilities, do it consistently. Most people work their entire lives for someone else's business. They build someone else's dream. Rich Dad taught me, even if you have a job, never forget to build your own business on the side. This could be real estate, digital assets, a product, or even content creation. Your job earns income, but your business builds wealth. Poor Dad said, "Climb the corporate ladder." Rich Dad said, "Own the ladder." And when you own the ladder, you control your time, your value, and your income. Did you know that taxes were originally meant for the rich? But over time, governments realized it was easier to tax the middle class. Now here's what the rich do differently. They understand the rules of money, especially how corporations work. An employee earns, gets taxed, spends what's left. A corporation earns, spends on expenses, gets taxed on what's left. Huge difference. Rich Dad said, "The rich use corporations, legal entities, and strategies to protect and grow wealth. The poor fear taxes, the rich use them." Wealthy people create value. They don't wait for permission. They spot trends. They solve problems. They invest in opportunities others overlook. That's called inventing money. It doesn't mean printing cash. It means thinking creatively, taking calculated risks, and understanding how markets work. During recessions, most people panic, but the wealthy, they invest. They buy assets at discounts. They build when others are scared. Why? Because they're educated, financially and emotionally. The rich are not lucky. They are not greedy. They are not superhuman. They are just financially educated and willing to think differently. Money is not taught in school, and that's the problem. We learn math, science, history, but not how to manage a budget, how to envy,